I say we just do a roulette. Or I have an idea. Hold on.
Okay.
What? Yeah? Sorry. Hello. Hi, babe. I'm with Nora. We're recording. No, it's okay. All right. I love you. Bye.
What?
Because I was like, in my head, I'm so like talking to you. Okay. See, I told you I'm like not mentally here today.
Oh,
okay.
My God. All right. Do you want to pick one for me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We didn't do our intro.
Oh, okay.
Hi. Welcome back to another episode of the Working Ammy podcast. I'm Nora.
I'm Maria.
And today we are going to do a little like Russian roulette.
Yeah.
So Maria is going to pick my submissions to read and I'm going to pick her submissions to read. And then we're going to answer a listener email basically asking us for advice on, what to do with her horse. She's having, I think, some training issues and maybe not feeling like it's the right fit anymore. And she asked us to weigh in. So
stay tuned.
Yeah. Let's get started.
Okay. Oh wait, I can't read these.
You can't read that.
I can't read this. I'm just picking. Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go with the This is hard. Okay, I'm gonna read the one that says guess the price of my horse. I've got a good one.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good.
All right. So this one, the title, the subject line is guess the price of my horse. I've got a good one. This person says, hi, I came across a TikTok that said we could submit guess the price of our horses to this email. I would also love to know what you would price my horse at now. His insurance and original purchase price are at the bottom of the email.
So yeah, I did a good one. Okay.
I imported my 16.3 hand KWPN from Belgium in 2021 by Zambezi, and in parentheses, Heartbreaker, out of a dam by Ahorn that produced 2.45 jumpers. He competed to 1.30 as a 7-year-old with scope for 1.35 to 1.40 before I bought him as an 8-year-old. Since then, he's taken me from the 1 meter to 1.15 with lots of confidence. He's very good to be ridden on roads and trails alone or in company and in big fields. He's a consistent placer in the jumper ring in huge classes at A-rated shows, especially crazy jumper derby classes. Ooh. And he even came second in our first hunter derby together for fun. 3'6" but B-rated show. He's a beautiful mover, and we were really successful in dressage at A-rated shows this year too. He also has a seriously perfect ground manners / leading and gets along with every other horse. I'm going to jump him bigger next year, but may try to do some EQ too. He can be a little naughty, but I don't mind it at all. We redid all his x-rays last month as a preventative, and they looked the same as when we got him in 2021. No maintenance necessary other than his massages and Beamer because he deserves it. Oh. One thing is he does have a large scar on his right flank area due to a field accident as a yearling, but it doesn't affect him, just cosmetic. And then she said, she followed up, which I think is, and gave some other relevant information. She said, I just binged a bunch of your videos and I realized since I am Canadian, the A-rated show circuit here that I am showing is the equivalent of AA here. Okay. Also, to clarify, the naughtiness is just him having fun. He needs a good romp every 1 to 2 weeks as he does like to leap / do handstands as he is a talented boy. He just likes to assert his athletic dominance every once in a while.
That's a really, really good way of saying that, athletic dominance. That's what I'm going to say next time I'm like a fucking horse. Don't worry.
He's just asserting his athletic dominance.
Oh, gosh. Okay, was it in Canadian dollars?
So the purchase price was in euros.
Oh, euros.
And what he's insured for is in Canadian dollars.
Oh, boy. Okay, so I think I'm just going to... All right, let's do euros first. So what they purchased him for. In 2021?
Yes.
In 2021. And what was he doing over there?
meter 30.
Oh, he was doing meter 30 over there.
As a 7-year-old.
As a 7-year-old. Okay, so he was in the young jumpers, essentially.
Yeah,
as
it's probably the
7-year-old's 130, 135.
Yeah.
Okay. He was doing consistently meter 30 over there, but that was 2 years ago. Ooh.
Actually, it was 3 years ago.
3 years
2024 now.
3 years ago? Yeah, okay.
It's 2021.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
2 to 3 years ago.
Meter 30, meter 35. Meter 30s consistently at 7. Do you think it includes import?
No.
Like 65?
Way less.
45?
Less.
30?
35,000 euros.
Oh, I thought that's low. Even over there for 130?
Which is the equivalent to $37,703 US dollars.
I think that's low.
Yeah.
I think
so too. I mean, she got a good deal on it.
I know, for sure. For doing the consistently meter 30s as a 7-year-old over there.
Yeah.
Like, granted, yes, there are more, but still.
Yeah.
I think that's low.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she got a good price on him. Yeah, he was competing up to meter 30 with scope for meter 30 to 35 to meter 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so she got him at like 37.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a good price for him.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
A horse like that now is probably going for more 50, 60.
Yes,
over
definitely.
there for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think 35 is a really good price.
I don't think you would find currently a meter 37-year-old for 37. There's no way.
I don't think so. I feel like, I mean, in 2021, that was right after COVID.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
So maybe the market was a little bit lower. But yeah, I mean, I think she got a good price for it because you're not finding these kinds of horses.
No, you'll probably end up paying, if it's consistently doing meter 30, meter 35, I'm going to stick with my 60, 65.
Yeah. And then what do you think that she has him insured for right now in 2020, end of 2023 is when we got this email.
$90
US dollars or Canadian dollars?
What am I closer to?
You're closer to Canadian, but you're over.
80
less.
70
A little bit more.
75 75
Yeah.
Is that Canadian dollars?
Yeah.
So that would be like what, 80 something?
55,747 US dollars.
What?
Yeah.
It's opposite now? I guess it
was always like that.
Opposite. For
US was always less than
Canadian.
Yeah.
So 50 something US?
55.
Oh, that is also low. I think that's also low.
Yeah, I think so too.
What is she doing now with him?
The meter 15.
But if he's had 3 years of show experience here, I think that's low.
Yeah.
I think that insurance is low.
I guess show experience in Canada, technically not show experience here.
Well, yeah, here, but
yeah.
even in Canada, to have show experience for 3 years and doing like the jumpers, the derbies that are equating to AA here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's low.
I think so too. I feel like, again, at least 75 USD. 75,000.
But this also goes into play about how they do the insurance, because I don't know if it was on the last episode that we did or the one previous where I was explaining like the insurances that they only allow you to increase a certain amount per year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how is that possible that was it a 4-year-old or 3-year-old was like triple or quadruple the price in like a year or something, and I was shocked by it. I'm wondering how the insurance plays into this, like if they're even allowing her, because I don't think the value of that horse is 50,000.
I don't think so either. I definitely think, like I said, if she were to sell him, she could probably get at least $75,000 US.
Yeah, I agree.
He does have the little like naughtiness, but at the same time, we always talk about this. The meter 35 to meter 40 jumpers.
You expect some level of quirkiness. Yeah. And she said confidence, right? With confidence, she's moved up. So he's doing well.
With lots of confidence, yeah.
So I'm assuming he's not a stopper. He's point and shoot. He's if they're moving up like that,
fast, careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I would put him higher than 50 for sure.
Yeah, I would too. But yeah, that's a good point about the insurance. Like they might not be valuing him at what she could actually sell him for.
Yeah, they value based on purchase price. So what you purchase the horse for, and then I forget what it is every year. Also, I'm not an insurance agent, so like, don't take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But every year, you can only, I think, increase it by a certain percentage or a certain amount. Like there's a max that you can increase it, even though if your horse or the market is is higher.
Yeah,
it doesn't work insurance like wise like that.
And some people also might not necessarily want their horse's insurance value to increase because then your premium's higher.
Yeah, exactly. But also I think insurances are very aware of that, because if you have a really expensive horse, then if something were to happen to that horse, then they would have to have a higher payout.
Yeah.
So I think they're very cautious about how much value your horse. Yeah. Just to for limiting fraud and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think for...
Just think about it. Sorry. I'm like thinking that my wheels are going. Like if you buy a horse for say like 50 and I want to insure it for like 150 or 200 and I'm a crook or a criminal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want money if something were to happen to this horse.
If something were to
happen and I increase the value by that much, the insurance lets me, and then something happens, they have to pay me and I get it like $150,000.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually smart that the insurance does that, because it limits crooked, evil people in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think theoretically she could sell it for at least $75,000 US, which would come out to about 101,000 Canadian dollars.
Okay. So I was kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Ish.
That would be my
I would agree
minimum
with the 75
sale price. Yeah. And then obviously it could increase with time. I mean, I guess he's 10 or 11 now.
But I think if she puts him in more derbies, I think that will increase the price. Like I would almost rather see the horse go into derbies than I would see it go into the 130s, because I think that's more valuable for people.
I mean, I think it depends. You never know. To me, a meter 30 jumper is more valuable than a derby horse.
Really?
So, like personally.
Oh, well. I feel like value-wise, you could probably get more for... If he does well in the derbies, I think you could get more for him. Marketing him as a derby horse. I think, is my thought process for it.
Yeah, possibly. But that's also not to say that, like, don't do the jumpers anymore.
No.
Just do derbies.
Yeah, no. That's just saying, like, experience.
A lot of jumpers actually do cross over pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have a double... But I'm saying it in terms of, like, it's not doing the 130s now.
Right.
It's doing the 115s.
Yeah.
So if you increase the derby experience plus the 115 experience, I think that could push the price up rather than just the 115 experience.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Right. Cool.
Yay.
All right, your turn. Oh, okay.
Okay. Oof. Alrighty. Ooh. Okay. All right. The subject line of this is 150 Grand Prix. Been there, done that. Gelding. Guess how much I bought him for?
Yay.
Hi, girls. I love watching your videos, so I thought, why not send my new horse? And then she says, sorry if there are any mistakes. English is my third language.
Ooh.
Good for you, because I don't even have a second language. I want to.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on my Spanish, but we shall see. I'd love y'all to guess the price I bought my jumper for here in Europe and how much he'd be worth in the USA. Honestly, I think I got a great deal price at the end. Just to let you know, I got him 2 months ago. And this was in January. So
Oh, okay. So she
November.
just got him.
Yeah. 10-year-old Slovak warm blood. Thank you for doing the conversion for me. 17.1 hands. But his neck sits higher, so he looks even taller. Gelding, black bay without any big markings, just small socks on hind legs. His old rider spent more time in the forest than in the arena, so he hacks like a pro. Oh, it's like trail riding. This is the 4th horse we bought from them.
Oh,
wow.
That's cool.
He has jumped many 140 classes and placed in the top placings almost every time. He has also jumped a handful of 150 International Grand Prix with a U25 rider with a fault once in a while. This season, 2023, he was ridden by a junior girl in the 135s and even placed in the local championships. We bought him directly from the breeder's hands. His trot and canter looks like he's on springs. He jumps smaller jumps quite flat, but as soon as it's a meter plus, he puts a lot of effort to not make any mistakes and jumps it with a lot of scope.
He's not impressed by the small stuff.
Yeah. It's like, put him up. He also has auto changes and knows basic lateral work. Honestly, I think he'd make a great dressage horse when I put some training on him. He is an angel in the stable. You don't even know he's there. It takes longer for him to fully trust his rider, but from the ground, but doesn't mind anyone in the saddle. He's extremely sensitive in the mouth and has been ridden in a D-ring with a basic noseband without a flash his whole life. He needs a quiet, confident, intermediate rider, but is more than happy to save riders' mistakes. The only downside that his previous rider told us is that he's scared of other horses in the warm-up when they're going close to him, but I think it's something we can work on. He has the clearest RTGs my vet has ever seen. 3 vets had seen them and nobody found anything. I don't think he'd find the hunters fun, so definitely a jumper. He can get fresh, but with a horse like this, you kind of expect it. He loves nose kisses and cuddles, isn't scared of literally anything, but he may look at something he's never seen before, but is able to move on without it throwing a tantrum. Honestly, he's the best horse I could have ever wished for. We bought him for blank. And she did the conversion again. Oh, thank you. Thank you for reading this.
He sounds super cute.
Yes.
So I'm not concerned about any of the quirks that she mentioned because we say this all. I mean, we literally just said it with a horse like this. You expect some of that stuff. Like, I'm not concerned about him being nervous about horses in the warm up. You can put a ribbon in his tail and a little red thingy on his forelock. Thingy? Yeah, like a little ribbon in his forelock. Some people do the little puffs, the little puff balls,
cute.
And they're so cute.
That's cute.
That doesn't concern me. There's plenty of horses who have issues with traffic. Again, him being a little looky doesn't concern me at all. I feel like that makes them careful.
Yeah.
She thinks that she got a good deal for him. Did she say where she's located?
No.
So I don't. Assuming, is it in euros?
Yes, I think she might be in. Yeah, I think she might be over there. Well, still.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah, like it's not an import. Like she didn't import him.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if there was like a specific country that she was located in or that she bought him from. So he's doing the meter 35s right now, but he has experience up to the meter 50.
Yeah. International Grand Prix with a U25 rider and a fault every once in a while. So he seems pretty competitive.
Yeah. And he's a horse that kind of, not anybody can get on, but like, he's not like if you know how to ride.
Yeah. Quiet, confident, intermediate rider.
Yeah. I'm going to say she got him for 60,000 euros.
Did you read this before?
No. Did I get it?
60,000, $66,138.
So I think that is a really good price for him.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that. Honestly, I probably would have said like 80, like 90.
So the reason I went a little bit lower is because she was like, I think we got a great price for him. How old is he again?
He's 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's right in that prime age. Yeah. She just got him, too. Yeah. So he was probably 10 when she bought him. Yeah, I do think that that's a great price for him. I mean,
I do as well.
With all that experience, you probably are, even in Europe, looking at at least
even
high
six,
fives.
yeah, even six figures. You could probably put him at if he can be ridden by like a junior girl.
Yeah,
I'd probably even put him in six figures over there. Low six figures, but still six figures.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, great deal.
Great price.
Great deal.
And then as for what he could be worth here, honestly, I think because of the experience, maybe high sixes starting with a 1 to low sixes starting with a 2.
I agree.
I was gonna kind of say 250, but then I was like, he's 10. He does have a lot of experience, but I'd say maybe between like 175 and 225.
I mean, I would say up to 250 would not
would not be outrageous.
Me. Yeah, especially just because of the 150 International Grand Prix experience with a U25 rider.
Yeah,
I think is
that's
very
true with the U25 riders.
And he's 10, like he's prime, he's young. So if someone wants to do the 150s again on him, it seems like he could step right into it.
Yeah.
Maybe not step right into it, but he could
work back up to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that, I would say anywhere from like 175. Even though it's a big range, 175 to 250, I think anywhere in that range would be an okay price for him.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then high fives or low sixes over in Europe.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe even to like mid sixes. Starting with a 1.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Like up to 150 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I always equate the values. So if it's 150 over there plus say 20 import quarantine PPE, he would be like 170, 175 over here.
Yeah,
which would be equal of value. So yes,
cool. She lucked out on that one.
Yeah, that was a great. I don't like Grand Prix horses. Once you hit that 150, that's another level.
Yeah,
like you can say 135, 140, and people are. I feel like. Not that it's more common, but it's maybe more common. You know,
more. You see more. I mean, if
horses
you look at
in
the entries at WEF, like the 130s have so many entries.
But the Grand Prix, on the other hand, is a whole nother
level. It's a whole new level.
So if you have a 150 horse, I think that's a completely new ball game.
And a horse like that, like if he was still doing the 150s, he could be in the 300s. I think the reason I put him in the 200s is because he's not doing that anymore. So it seems like he has experience, but it's kind of limited.
Yeah.
And he's doing mostly the 130s, 135. So that's why I put him like in the 200s. But if he was consistently doing 150, then you're looking at $300,000, $400,000, $500,000.
Or plus if he does well. If he can get around a 150 with like minimal faults and he's very competitive, I even like $500,000.
I mean, we read one with Alexa where the horse was an 8 to 12 faulter, and
and it was going for like $300,000. Well, it was $500,000.
They were initially trying to sell him for $500,000, and then they dropped it to $300,000.
Yeah,
but he had like World Cup experience.
Yeah, and all of that. It's very interesting. I keep forgetting that I'm gonna read these. So I'm like, oh no! Like,
I'm gonna read them.
No, but I'm gonna guess. You know what?
I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna challenge myself.
Okay.
Because I don't think we've done one of these before.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the subject line of this one is ISO young horse for a para rider. And this person says, hiya. I thought this ISO post might be interesting as it's for another para horse, this time in Europe. So we actually did do one
like
of
a while
someone
ago
looking
when we
for
first started, right?
Yeah. I often think there's a high price for those really good-minded horses, even if they are not the biggest moving horses. ISO, young horse to hopefully be future Paralympic/World Championship horse. No preference on mare/gelding/stallion. At least 16.1. Bigger horses are fine. Ideally 5 to 6 years old. Good brain is extremely important. Rider has a disability that affects all 4 limbs. Needs a very good walk and trot that is naturally elastic. Good canter as rider also wants to compete in able-bodied classes. what would you guess for a good budget for this?
Did you put a budget?
They put what they found with what they paid for it.
Oh, what they paid, not the actual budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they located here?
Yes.
Okay, in the U.S., looking for a 5 to 7 year old.
And I'm assuming they're looking for a dressage horse.
Dressage, 5 to 7, sane.
At least 16.1, and they want it to be a future Paralympic / World Championship horse.
Now, see, this is gonna throw me off because, like, I know the date. The date was like in last summer, right?
Yeah.
And I know we read one in Europe for dressage horses that like she couldn't find anything in her like what $50,000, $30,000, $35,000 budget. What was it?
I don't remember what the budget was.
It was a pretty like decent budget though, and like all the horses failed the PPE for dressage, and then I think she ended up upping it to like 50 or 60.
Yeah, I don't remember what the budget was on that one.
Okay, what would be a good budget for this? Say it had to be fancy.
Needs a very good walk and trot that is naturally elastic. Good canter, as rider also wants to compete in able-bodied classes.
But you said something about World Championship?
Young horse to hopefully be future Paralympic / World Championship. Oh, also, I lied. They are looking in Europe.
Oh, they're looking in Europe. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off of the last one we read, but I can't remember exactly what she ended up paying. So, I'm gonna say over there, I don't know. I'm gonna go between 60 and 70 again, so $65,000.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be US, right? In euros.
They gave me what they paid in US dollars.
In US dollars?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think in US dollars, 65. Maybe 60. Yeah, around that. Okay, anyway.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Okay.
Horse found. 5-year-old 17-hand gelding.
Oh.
Really great brain. Has already gone into big stadium arenas, no problem. Nice elastic mover with walk being a big highlight. Really wants to please. Rider has ridden him in all gaits, and he has stayed soft, supple, and kept nice contact despite rider disability. Completely calm around wheelchairs, etc.
He's 5?
Yes.
Wow. It's young.
I know.
You looked at me weird when I said 65, so like now I feel like it was like high. It was either low or high. 50?
Way higher.
Okay, was it higher than my original guess?
Yes.
Okay, 80?
Higher.
100?
Higher.
125?
Higher.
175?
Lower.
150?
Yeah. Yeah, so they paid $150,000 for this horse.
Wow. In US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew dressage horses were expensive.
And I think the thing here, too, is ensuring...
How much is that in US?
You mean in euros?
Oh, that's what you paid
that
in
was
US.
What was in euros?
It's
$139,245.
Wow.
Or euros, sorry.
You know what? I can kind of see that. Did the last one we did it was 80, right? She was looking for a 3-year-old, and I think she ended up paying, I couldn't remember if it was 50 or 80.
That wasn't the para one that we read.
No, but that was we read one about dressage.
Yeah.
A dressage horse. Because she looked for like 3 or 4 3-year-olds that all failed the PPE.
Mm-hmm.
So she upped her budget like a crazy amount, but I can't remember what her original budget was and then what she upped it for.
I also don't remember.
Yeah. Well,
I think she upped it from like
it was
30 to 50.
Yeah, it was either 30 to 50 or it was like 40 to 80.
Yeah,
it was like
something
one of those.
like that.
Wow, that's a huge budget to have for a horse like that, but that doesn't shock me.
It doesn't surprise me either because you're looking for something so specific when you're looking for a horse for a para rider. Like, I mean, it's only 5, but you're looking for something that needs to be responsive.
Yeah.
Have a really good brain, not be like an idiot.
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's spooky. It's calm around wheelchairs, etc. So I think in this case, you're really paying for skill and safety.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, that price doesn't shock me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I should have gone up. I told you, it's not my day today. I should have already just cut it.
Yeah, I think in this case, they were willing to pay more for something safe. That's also fancy.
Which I think is a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you don't skimp on price to get quality. We always say quality.
Yeah. Especially for a para rider, like, just naturally they're more at risk, especially if they don't have full use of their limbs. This person, it says the rider has a disability that affects all 4 limbs.
Yeah.
So,
but what I think is the most shocking is that it's 5.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by that too. That's really young.
It's young,
so it must have a great brain
for the price for 5-year-old.
Yeah,
and I'm also. She said she wanted a young one, right? 5 to 7,
5 to 6, yeah,
5 to 6. Yeah, I mean that's crazy to me that a 5-year-old 175.
Yeah,
that was last year too.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one right at the top is intriguing to me.
Click it. I did one of the ones from last year. You can do one of the recent ones. All right.
This is in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I know. I feel like you should get this right.
Hopefully.
If you don't,
I'm gonna be
that's gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super embarrassing. Did you see what it was?
No.
Okay. ISO versus what I got. Overqualified, 0.90 to 115, adult jumper. Right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
I should have gotten this one, but I'm trying to challenge myself. But clearly I should not be doing that because this is not my day. Hi, friends. Considering I know a few others looking for this type of horse, figured I'd share and get your expert takes.
Expert with an asterisk.
Yeah, I am clearly not an expert today, so. But you've been on, so
I've been pretty good.
Yeah, you've been on. All right, we searched for 6 months, tried 14, and almost bought one off of a video in Europe. Leased one for a month, you name it. Wow. I'm a 31-year-old amateur who's had every creative situation and project horse possible due to my family being in the equine business, but this is technically my first official horse and my first made horse that I'll have for more than just a catch ride. Original ISO 16.2 plus, rider is 5'9", warm blood, mare or gelding, 7 to 14, must be safe with no shenanigans, 0 stop, and can take a joke. Needs its own motor, but not hot. Ideally, it's overqualified to get an adult back in the jumper ring and take them through the 0.90s to 115, bonus if 120, but not expected. Show ring ready, family of equine vets, so normal wear and tear of a show horse is expected, but will be PPE'd very thoroughly, as I would expect. Yeah. US only. What do you think her budget was?
So if she's looking for something overqualified above 115, you're going to assume that it's doing at least the meter 20s.
Yeah.
So this kind of horse, like if you're looking for technically a low junior AO jumper, you're looking in the 6 figures, probably. I don't know if I want to say that that's what her budget is, though. Because what I think her budget should be, or should have been, is like 150. But I don't know if I'm committed to that answer. Was it 100?
Sorry, I was no, because for the next one I was trying to do like research. No, it was not 100.
Was it higher or lower?
It was lower.
Was it 75?
It was 70.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good budget. I don't want to say that it's a low because it's not, but at the same time, I feel like we've seen a lot of these horses going for 6 figures. Or like we saw someone who was looking for a horse, her budget was $150. She's like, everything I've looked at, like, didn't pass the PPE or like something
her budget was $100. I think that was the one I told you about, right?
No, we read one.
Oh, we read another one
with Molly. I think it was this adult Ammy looking for like an equitation horse. Her budget was $150,
and she couldn't find anything.
So like I think 70 is a decent budget, but if you're looking for something overqualified that's already doing the meter 20s, meter 30s,
she just said overqualified, so I don't know if that makes a difference, but she did put it in quotations.
To me, overqualified means it's
doing the
showing successfully higher than at a level higher than you want it to do.
I agree.
And even though 70, I'm gonna get yelled at for this, but even though 70 is like a big amount of, it's a lot of money, I feel like in this market, you still kind of have to be creative with that budget, which sounds terrible. But
it does, to be honest. And 70 a couple years ago probably would have gotten you a horse like this. Easily. But I think horses are now incredibly expensive. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that she said must be safe with no shenanigans, 0 stop, can take a joke.
Yeah.
Like you're looking for overqualified, but you're looking for safe. And safe in this market is very expensive.
Like, again, I have this horse.
Yeah.
But we got the trainer discount.
Yeah.
We got him. He was priced at $125, $150.
Yeah.
And we got him for way less.
Mm-hmm.
So creative solutions.
Yeah. I'm interested to know.
Yeah, let's hear what you got.
Yeah. What we got, a 10-year-old, 16.1. I'm a little tall for him, but he was an instant match and I fell in love.
Oh.
Irish sport horse Gelding. Came from a well-known program. Prelim evented, so this is what I looked up. So prelim is 3.7.
Okay. So that's about like 110. 110.
No, like 10. 3.3 is a meter. So it's like a 105.
No, because then if 3.3 is a meter, then 3.5 is 105. 3.7 is 110.
105 is 3.4. 110. Okay, so it's 110. 110. Oh, you're right. 115. Don't take my. See, I told you. 110. 115.
I've looked at the conversion, the height conversions and the prize lists.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
I've read so many prize lists.
Okay, so yeah, 110, 115. Okay. Yeah. So that's what she was looking for, essentially. Prelim evented for a few years after import and then switched to show jumping with his amateur owner, doing up to the low amateurs competitively. Has a lengthy and consistent record, mainly in Ocala. Has a motor, but is not hot. Perfect amount of safe adult jumper, spice, total sweetheart, very easy to ride for just about anyone, always jumps, very safe even when fresh. PPE was as clean as it gets for a horse with his records, no maintenance yet. Bonus that he has 4 white socks and the fluffiest forelock. He's adorable. And then she put what they were asking.
Oh.
And then what she got him for.
Oh. I wish we had a picture now. I want to see his forelock.
I know.
All of the horses I've ever had have had like 7 hairs for their forelocks. I've never had a horse with a bushy forelock.
And 4 white socks. He seems splashy.
I know. All right, so what they were asking. So he started off in prelim eventing, but then was doing
the show jumping to the low amateurs.
And was doing the low amateurs. So he was doing the meter 20. Were they asking like 85?
Yeah. Good job. Yeah.
Yay.
You're on point today. You are on point.
I feel like it's either one or the other. Like either you're getting them all right or I'm getting them all right, but it's never both of us at the same time.
I know. And I told you when I came in here today, I was like, this is just an off day for me. I feel like it's a mentality thing though, you know, like you're having an off day and like you just can't think.
Yeah.
Get back into it. Anyway, so yeah, they were asking 85, which I think that might be low, potentially.
So the eventing is throwing me off. I think it depends on how long he was doing
the low amateurs.
Because I feel like the eventing, like, I don't want to say it brings down the value, but eventers just don't sell for as much.
Yeah, they don't.
Even though he did switch to show jumping.
But it did say he has a lengthy and consistent record.
Yeah.
Even though it's mainly in Ocala, lengthy and consistent's pretty on point.
Yeah. I think that was... They could have priced him higher.
I think they could have priced him higher as well. Interesting. Okay, so that's what he was priced at 85, and what do you think she bought him for?
I have a hard time thinking that she bought him for less, but I'm assuming she did, because if she didn't, then she wouldn't have put that in.
Yeah.
Because she said that he didn't have anything come up on his PPE or anything, right?
As clean as it gets. For a horse with his record, no maintenance.
I wonder if she negotiated down to 75.
She got him for 70.
Oh,
due to a family connection.
Oh.
Friends and family discount. We
go.
love that. So she stayed right in her budget.
Right on the mark.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
There you go. Connections.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to work through your trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need those connections. Yep. But this was due to a family connection.
She probably, I wonder if her parents had a client or something that had the horse.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen people say, horses are super expensive, they're super unaffordable, and yes, that's true, the horse prices are going up, but you can also get into really good situations, get into creative situations. There's ways, I think, to enjoy horse ownership or showing horses without spending an arm and a leg to get it. You have to be creative.
Yes, you definitely have to be
and you have to look for those opportunities, but it's not impossible. And we've seen it breeding these.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that this person would have this kind of horse for 70K.
Yeah.
And this was recent too. This was in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So congrats on your horse. But yeah, that just goes to show you. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Do you know that? Have you seen Cinderella? It's the old one. It's possible.
Not in years. I've seen Cinderella, but not in years.
No, it's the really old one. But anyway. Oh, and then sorry, this is really off topic, but I was watching the Super Bowl yesterday with the commercials, and Wicked is coming out.
I know. Right? I saw that. I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it too with Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
I love Wicked.
I know. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Okay. So this person says, hey, I was wondering what you think my horse will be priced at. The subject line is vetting issue. What do you think my horse will be priced at? I'm not looking to sell her because she's my baby, but I'm curious. She's a 12-year-old plain bay, 17.1 Westphalian, Canthargos, Baladuruwe, Cannon cross, or not cross, but that's the breeding.
Yeah, I know both those.
I imported
jumper. Yeah, that's a jumper.
Baladuruwe is a big name. I imported her from Sweden as an 8-year-old, doing the 1.20 for blank. I have been slowly moving up the jumper heights with her, currently showing in the high juniors. We have schooled up to 1.55 at home, and she continues to prove herself. She has great scope and a great hind end. She kicks out over the jumps all the time if they are high enough for her. More of a push ride until you step into the show ring and she lights up.
Ooh.
Can get strong, but never naughty. Will throw a big buck on the landing occasionally when she's fresh. In the 4 years I've had her, I have still never fallen off of her. Knock on wood.
Wow.
I was going to say knock on wood, and then she wrote it. Counter canter is good mover and calm enough to play in the eck. She is so well behaved on the ground. Stands, loads, clips, and a total love bug without being too in your face annoying. We rarely have a rail, and if we do, it's my fault. She's saved my butt so many times when I should have eaten dirt. She does have self-preservation, so she will not leave from a dangerously long distance. She's taught me to be a better rider, LOL. For prep at shows, she gets 1 dose of Adequan and Legend per weekend, but she does not need them. She gets massages and chiro a few times a year just because we want her to feel good, and hawk injections with PRP twice a year. Minor arthritis in her hocks, but the injections are mainly preventative as it's so minor. She's essentially the full package, except for 2 front bowed tendons she had as a 6-year-old from a freak accident. Great vetting otherwise. She has never taken a lame step, and we have never had any issues with her tendons or anywhere else. Shows consistently and gets ice and poulticed after we jump. Would love to hear your thoughts. So guess what you bought her for first?
Oh my gosh. I already can tell I'm going to be so off on this one. Okay.
So she got her 4 years ago.
4 years ago. How old was the horse?
8.
8 doing... Okay,
the
so
meter 20.
The horse is 12 now.
Yes.
And it's doing the meter 20s in Sweden. Ooh,
yes.
I don't think we've done... Have we done one in Sweden?
I don't know.
I don't think we have.
I don't know.
I feel like it's lower though than your than the ones that we normally get. Okay. And she's doing the 120s as an 8-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Do I just go for like 3 and 3? Like, oh my gosh. An 8-year-old doing the 120s. Did she say anything else? Like when she was over there, she imported her 4 years ago. That would be 2020. That would be during COVID.
Yeah, she didn't say anything else about it other than the breeding.
50?
More.
60?
More.
75?
Yeah.
75? I was going to go for 65. I was just going to stay. But I was thinking for COVID, prices were a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I went down to 50. But yeah, 75. Maybe Sweden has higher prices. For 120,
Maybe.
For an 8-year-old doing 120s, I personally feel like that's a little high.
Unless, actually, yeah, that's true. For an 8-year-old just doing the 120s.
Unless it has like a very consistent record through like 5, 6, 7, 8. Then yes, I can see that, like the competition.
Yeah,
but
or maybe the breeding. They were like, it's a Bello Durouet mare.
Yeah, I mean, like the name itself could earn that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably would have maybe 50 was low because the COVID thing factored in, but like I think maybe like 60, 65 again. I'm saying that number a lot.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm placing like the 120s, the 130s ish over there is kind of around that price, especially if it doesn't have that much experience, I guess, competing. But
yeah, that would have been about 70,000 euros. 69,622
for 120.
Well, actually, that's not true.
What would it have been in 2020?
In 2020, the euro was at $1.12 compared to
$1.
Oh wait, no. The dollar was at $1.12 compared to the euro.
So what was it in?
So
was it in euros that you put it
75,000 divided by divided by 1.12. So that would have been about $67,000.
Okay. I should have just gone for my 65 and I would have been fine. Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably where I would place it.
And what do you think the horse would be worth now? So she's 12, currently showing in the high juniors, which is meter 40 to meter 45. Has schooled up to 155 at home. I usually don't take that into account when pricing horses.
I don't either.
But she does have
I think it's nice that she has the scope for that because it's like she can get you out of tough situations in the meter 45, meter 40 classes. Like she has the ability to go over.
Yep.
To be completely honest, even though she's not planning on selling her, the vetting issue really doesn't bother me that much.
Same.
Like I kind of completely overlooked it because it doesn't affect her currently.
Yeah,
like,
and she's had her for 4 years.
Yeah, it would be different if it was like a performance problem or a maintenance issue, but because it's just there
are some vetting issues that will progress.
Yeah.
And this isn't one of them.
Yeah. And if she still can compete at that high of a level consistently and do well.
And is sound. She says that she's never taken a lame step.
Yeah. Would she be worth? I think over 200.
I think so too.
Over 200 easily. For a 140, 145 horse, that seems like perfect-ish. Yeah. Like, even the bucking doesn't phase me. The fact that she's never fallen off in 4 years is really impressive. I
know.
Like, just like by doing meter 40, meter 45 and never falling off, good for you.
I know.
That's crazy impressive. Which goes to show that, like, it must be to an extent a safe horse, you know? Like, it's not.
Yeah, definitely.
If you haven't fallen off of it.
And
I would label that a safe horse.
So she says that she saved her butt, but also does have self-preservation, so she won't leave from dangerously long distance, which, again, at that height, you want that. You don't want your horse to just blindly jump, because that's when you get into dangerous situations.
Yeah, exactly. But it seems like the horse doesn't put the rider either in an undangerous situation. Yeah. Like, it's not like I'm gonna go. Just kidding. It seems like obviously I haven't seen this horse go, but it seems like the rider understands.
Get her out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, like understands when or when not the horse is gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think easily over 200. Mm-hmm. I would put the horse.
Yeah.
I just don't know where it would stop. I don't think I would go over like 400 or over 500. I feel like somewhere in the 200 to like.
I think since it's not doing the Grand Prix,
I think 2 to like 350 ish in that range, depending on the record, how like solid it is at that height.
Yeah. I could also see, though, some people being weird about the bow tendons, even if it's not a performance issue. I could see, like, she said that she's not looking to sell her, but like theoretically, I could see someone just like negotiating down because of it.
Yeah.
Just because horses are expensive and people want to get the best deal.
Yeah. I think it would depend on what's out there and how the market is.
Yeah.
Because you have this is where comps would be actually really helpful. Because if you had another meter 40, meter 45 horse without that, you see what they're going for.
Yeah. Could you imagine if, like, when you buy a house and they look at comps in the area?
I literally was thinking this, like, honestly.
And like, so if you're looking for horses and your trainer or agent could be like, well, here are other horses that have sold that are doing the same thing, that would actually be hilarious. But unfortunately, horse sales are not public knowledge like house sales are.
Yeah. Be interesting if they were.
It would be very interesting.
Right? I feel like
I don't think horses would be as expensive.
I don't think so either. I think, and this was actually, someone posted this. I think it was like kind of a rant, but not really, because I think she had very valid points. Mm-hmm. But this person posted on one of the Facebook sites about like basically the increasing price of horses and why it's so expensive. And she was frustrated, rightly so, by the increasing price, and was basically saying there's no regulation for it. People are just raising prices for no reason.
Like I saw something like that on TikTok. Was it on TikTok? Or was it like a text?
No, it was on Facebook. Mm-hmm. It was a text, like a lengthy thing going through, which is true, because a horse is only worth as much as someone's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And if you're going to import a horse for, say, 50, there's nothing stopping you from reselling that horse for 150 if you find someone willing to pay 150 for it. So that's why it's very good to be educated, and knowledgeable, and work with someone that you trust, because that happens a lot.
That's why we do this podcast.
Yeah. Price transparency. If you're ever wondering what you could value your horse at or what you should sell, just go binge watch videos and try to find a comp.
Yeah. Try to find a comp for your horse.
Yeah, find a comp for your horse and then go off of that. That's what they do for houses all the time. When they flip the houses, they look for relative comps in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Do the same thing for horses.
Yeah. So between 200 and 350, depending.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's a really big, maybe 2 to 300, 2 to 300 I think would be a better range.
Yeah, it's a big range, but yeah, depending on the
Like if
show
it was
record and her location. Because if she's like, well, I don't know where she is, but if she's in like Florida or on the East Coast or West Coast, probably closer to between 250 to 300. But maybe if she's in like the Midwest,
on the lower end of that.
Yeah, but
I think this would be a good situation where you would like maybe if your trainer didn't like consign it or something to one of those like Florida, West Coast, North, depending.
Yeah.
To try to get a little higher price for it, because I do think location impacts the price of what you can sell your horse for. Location.
But she's not trying to sell. So between 200
and 300.
Cool. All right, last one for you.
Woo.
I was just marking that one as a red. I think I might go into the archives too.
Yeah.
Go back a little farther.
Throwing it back to last summer when we started this.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right.
I decided to challenge myself a little bit on this one.
Yeah, but you can't open it prior.
I didn't see it. I wanted to know which one it was.
Like, open it. Here you go. Read it now.
Yeah,
I actually don't think that this one didn't come with a price.
So it didn't?
It did, but that's fine.
Oh.
It's fine. Well, at least you know that you didn't read it then. If you didn't. I'm going to do that next time. I'm just going to open it up and be like, here you go. Can you read it? Oh, shoot. I just lost it. Hold on. Crap. Do you remember where it was? Was it old?
Yeah, it was really old. It was on the last page it was like really old. I think it was
this one.
Yeah.
All right. ISO. Looking for a large pony hunter.
So is this like a budget estimator then? She wants us to budget to like give her a budget?
Yes, I think so. Well, it doesn't say, but I think so. Let's read it, and then we'll figure it out. A bit green is okay, but needs to have the step and scope for the division. Looking for something that is flashy with great movement. Anything from the ages 6 to 10, but needs to be brave and safe with a good brain. Would be in a professional program. This is what she's looking for, and I guess she wants to say what the budget would be. I love your videos, by the way. If you do see this, which I don't know if you will, thank you for taking the time to read it. I hope I did it properly. Okay, so what do we think the budget should be for a large pony hunter? 6 to 10.
This one's actually hard because
it is hard.
It depends.
Yeah, it does depend.
Like, what's the goal? Do they want it to go to pony finals or
a bit green, but needs to have a step and scope for the division?
Okay,
so I would assume. Like, I feel like we're gonna have to make a lot of assumptions.
Yeah,
we're
gonna have to make a lot of assumptions.
And she's looking for something flashy with great movement. So yeah, let's say it's gonna go to pony finals. We're looking for a pony finals contender.
All right, we're looking for a pony finals contender. It can be green. I mean, ponies are super expensive. 6 to 10. So if you're looking on the younger side, I would say it could be under 6 figures, maybe like 60 to 75. If you're looking at like a 6-year-old, like a greener 6-year-old. If you're looking closer to 10, I would say like 150 to 200, to be honest.
Not a bit green. That would be, I would say, like experience.
Well, if it's 10, I'm assuming that it's not green.
Yeah.
If it's 10, I'm going to assume that maybe it's been to pony finals before.
Or maybe hasn't been or has some experience in some way showing.
Yeah.
I think
if you want to be competitive.
For some reason, I feel like even though she didn't give a budget, I feel like her budget's low.
I also feel like her budget's low.
I don't think, just because she said a bit green, but she also said 6 to 10, I'm thinking, I don't know, for some reason, like the 6 to 10 and a bit green is just like not comprehending in my brain right now for something that would be giving me, she has a big budget.
Yeah.
It's giving me like maybe 30 to 50 budget.
Yeah, that makes sense. So in that case, let's say her budget is like, we'll split the difference. Let's say her
40.
budget's 40.
Yeah.
She would probably be looking at something greener. Or something that maybe hasn't shown consistently on the circuit, or if it has, it hasn't done that well. But she said she was looking for flashy
with great movement.
Okay.
I guess it's because like I think the age is throwing me off. Like I would have assumed if it's a little bit green and you're looking for something flashy with great movement, I probably would have gone lower.
Yeah.
Like a 5 to 8 rather than a 6 to 10 because in that 6 to 10 range, you're probably going to be getting something that
is more experienced,
which means that it wouldn't be a bit green,
right?
You know, it would be
unless you're looking at like
a back burner or like like on the younger back burner, end of that. Yeah, so that's kind of throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like again, if we're talking about what a reasonable budget would be, since she didn't give us a budget, if we're talking about what a reasonable budget would be, I think, like I said, 60 to 75 for maybe something 6 or 7.
That for pony finals,
or maybe something like 6 to 8. Maybe if you're looking for something like 8 to 10 or 9 to 10, if we're assuming that it's gonna go to pony finals and maybe has some experience, probably like 150.
If it has not gone to pony finals yet, you put it at 150?
No, if it has.
If it has. Okay. But if it has pony finals experience, I would say it's not a bit green.
No, but I'm saying like,
you're saying
if you're getting something between 8 and 10 or like 9 and 10, it's not going to be a bit green.
Yeah,
like that line is just
it's disregarded. Yeah, agreed. I think that's what's throwing me off.
Yeah,
is that age for 10?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't imagine that a pony finals. Say you're looking for a pony finals contender. Like I can't imagine that you'd be looking in that 8, 9, 10 range because someone would have already picked up the pony. If that makes sense. Like I don't think it would be a bit green. Like if I saw a pony that had pony finals potential, thank you. Couldn't think. I would be training it and reselling it for myself.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be offering it 8, 9, 10. Unless it's a back burner or weird situation.
Or like a kid is growing out of it.
Yeah. Or that. But in that case it would have had experience prior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can tell us if we're wrong, pony people, but I don't think you see on the older side for pony finals like 10, 11, 12 without experience.
No.
Like you don't pick up a 12-year-old pony. It's like, I'm going to turn it into a pony finals contender.
Yeah, no, that's why. And again, for people listening, we're just assuming that this person wants to go to pony finals.
Yeah.
That could not be the case, but the fact that she said that she wants it to be able to do the division tells us that they want to try to like that's kind of the goal.
That's the assumption we're making on this one.
Yeah. Here. So yeah, like for me, when thinking about this one, if I'm thinking of something 8, 9, 10, I'm just disregarding the line about it being green.
Okay. And then if she's looking for something
like young 6, 7,
I think 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. Then you'd probably be looking at something greener, but anything older than that, I'm just disregarding that line because you're not going to get a green pony at 10 unless it was late started or has been like sitting in a field or like, I don't know.
I think
something happened.
Based on what she's saying, it almost seems like it would be in a professional program. Like they want to train it up to be in the pony finals. So, or we're saying pony finals, but like they want to train it up for the division, something that's not already competing. So I would be looking on the lower end of that personally. If I wanted something to make, I'd be looking for 5, 6.
Yeah.
Even like it's kind of hard for 4-ish, for like age 4.
Yeah.
But 5, 6, I think would be even 7-ish.
Yeah.
To have something to train up for pony finals, I wouldn't be looking on the older side of that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
Lots of questions and assumptions.
Yeah.
But
making up stories.
Yeah. That's
our favorite.
That's what we do. We love that. Cool. So that's it for submissions for ISOs. Right. So now we got an email from a listener. Yay. So if you have a discussion topic that you would like us to read, or if you want some advice from two people who like to give advice, email us at theworkingammy@gmail.com. So this person, she also had sent us an ISO. I wonder if we should do the ISO and then read her
let's do
question, because the question...
Is it based off of that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Cool. All right. So this is going to be a...
I'm ready for this. All right.
7 submission.
Redemption. Okay.
Episode. All right. So this person says, "Hi there. Love the podcast and was wondering if I can get your opinion on a price range for my horse. He's a 17-hand chestnut, 6-year-old OTTB gelding. I've had him since he was 3 years old, right off the track after only having run twice. He had some amazing connections who really cared about him and gave him to me when they realized he just didn't want to be a racehorse. I used to work at the track, so I didn't pay any money for him initially." She asked us what we
think he's worth.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you just pull a me?
No, she asked us what a price range for him.
Okay.
Pros: he has always been the sweetest, easiest horse to deal with. Everyone that meets him absolutely adores his personality, and he's so easy to take anywhere. He has ribboned at WEC, Ohio in the Future Hunter divisions, Lake Placid in the Modified Adults, and Devon in the Young Hunter under saddle.
Wow.
He was 10th overall hunter and 23rd overall dressage at RRP 2022, Retired Racehorse Project, and has countless other local miles in the 2-foot to 2.6. Has done a couple of events and a Boyd Martin clinic in November where Boyd had nothing but wonderful things to say about him. He can be forward but never stupid, lacks some confidence in new places, but if you are confident, he will never have a problem. Cons: the lead change. We have tried for years to get it clean and it simply isn't. The right to left is pretty reliable, but the left to right usually involves some bucking/kicking out nonsense. He had a splint FX. He had this injury in April of last year and was rehabbed appropriately and brought back slowly. He has been great, vetted extensively, and has clean back, stifle hock, and neck x-rays. I'm really conflicted, but I do love him, but I'm afraid our time is coming to an end, and I'm not sure if I could get anywhere near what I would want for him with his record, with his lead change not being reliable. If it is more worth it to just hang on to him and see if it improves, or cut my losses now and find him someone he might do better with. I would love to get in the blank range, but again, I'm not sure that's even realistic. I would love to hear what you guys think. So she sent us pictures.
Oh, he's cute. He's very cute. Ooh, cute jump too. Ooh, this is going to be a fun one. Very in depth. Okay.
So what do you think she could price him at, theoretically?
He seems to have a lot of experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's how old?
6.
He's 6. He's young. He has a lot of experience for 6.
Yeah.
Wow. What could she price him at? Well, she got him for, you said, next to nothing, right?
She got him for free.
She got him for free. Okay.
Yeah, so she probably paid like $1.
Yeah. I think like he's 6. He's young though. He's still young.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe 15, 17.5 in that range.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, she said I would love to get in the $15,000 to $20,000 range for him.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I don't think I would go as high as 20 just because he's young. He's 6.
Yeah, he's
like,
super
that's young. Even though he has a lot of experience, like that's 6 is young for a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 15 to 17.5 would be kind of where I'd place him anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. And that's in her range.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think she could get that. Like, lower to mid end of her range.
Yeah.
So now for the advice part.
Alrighty, hit me with it.
Just listen to another episode about you guys asking for advice questions, etc. So I figured I can give some backstory to the reason I think I need to sell my horse.
Oh, okay.
This might be a long one, so stay with me. It's not that long.
Okay.
When I first met my horse, he was everything I ever wanted. We had 1 to 2 really amazing years of showing competitively, and lately I feel like all we do is fight. I don't have the money to go buy another horse, and feel like if I want to show, I have to keep him because I'll never get another horse of his quality. That being said, I can't say I have fun riding him anymore. As the questions get harder, I've become frustrated with his greenness, for lack of a better term, and he is getting frustrated with me being frustrated. He is an insanely talented horse, and I know this, but I almost feel like I have this pressure on me to make him something amazing, and I'm not sure I'm that rider. I want to enjoy taking things slowly with him and doing it at our pace, but I can't help but have this nagging feeling that he might succeed more with someone else. I don't want people to see us and think, wow, that horse is wasted with her if she is only ever going to jump 3 foot. I'm not even sure this makes total sense, but I would love to get your guys' opinions on self-inflicted expectations or even bouts of turmoil where you and your horse just aren't jiving like you used to. I don't want to sell him, but I'm starting to think it is the only answer.
Oh my God. I feel like I wrote this. I relate to this girl so much because I literally went through this and I still go through it, honestly. And there's a lot in there. So what do we want to unpack first?
So
you're not alone, by the way. This is a very, very common problem. And hopefully when we're discussing this, you'll feel better. And hopefully we'll be able to give you some good advice.
So the thing that stood out to me is when she says he's an insanely talented horse, and I know this, but I almost feel like I have this pressure on me to make him something amazing, and I'm not sure I'm that rider. So the reason that stood out to me, we've said this before on this podcast, horses don't know their potential.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like this is mostly self-inflicted because she also mentioned self-inflicted expectations.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, a lot of people get these horses and they're like, oh, he's so talented. Like, he has the potential to like do a 1.50 and I only want to do the 1.15. Like, he's wasted if I don't like get to the bottom of his potential. But horses don't know their potential. Like, they don't wake up every day saying, I wish I was doing the 1.50. Like, they don't. They're like, this patch of grass is really green.
I don't know. I still have this confliction, and I'm not gonna lie, like this exact thing about, because I brought my horse up from 4 years old and I got him, and maybe I'll just like go through the story. But like, so I got him at 4 and he had like a couple months of jumping experience. And I was like, I don't need to compete right now. I want a horse that can kind of work with, and I really like the training aspect. So that was very appealing to me. It's very difficult to take that on. A young horse.
Yes, young horses are
he's great. Like he was very, I'll even say like he's safe, you know? Like he's not bolting, not bucking, not like knock on wood. Yeah. But he was a great young horse, and then we started getting into like and I started him very slowly. If you don't know me and like already, I'm very meticulous about like programs.
Yeah.
But when I got him, I was not as meticulous. A lot of the stuff that I have now is because of this horse. Yeah. Because I had to learn and research and educate myself in order to give this horse the best training that I possibly could. So I got him, and we were just like, I don't know, I was riding him, you know, it wasn't like a program.
Yep.
And we started off jumping, and this horse would just like bolt, like not bolt, but like he just ran at the jumps.
Yeah.
Ran at it.
I remember that.
Yeah. And that was like when he was like 5, maybe, just turned 5. He was like bolting. Yeah. Not bolting. I keep saying bolting, but he would run towards the jumps and run after the jumps. And he's very strong. So it was,
I mean, he's a big horse.
Yeah, it was like annoying. Yeah. So I had to essentially take him back to the beginning, trot poles, like placement poles. We were doing like, we didn't even jump for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we started getting back into it, and when we were getting really good.
Yeah.
And then we started a program when I realized that he wasn't like, I needed a program for him. So I got a very meticulous program going, and then it was going great. And then all of a sudden I just like, we weren't clicking anymore. Exactly like this person. Like we just weren't clicking. And I don't know what happened. It was like the terrible twos for like toddlers. And his like brain just like switched off, and
his brain broke.
Yeah, his brain broke, and I was getting so frustrated. And I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
We were working so well. We were like, I thought we were progressing, and then all of a sudden you decide to like forget everything and revert, essentially. And I got so frustrated that I went to I actually found her online. Now we're good friends, but I found her through a young horse training program because I didn't think that I was adequate enough in order to train this horse.
Yeah.
So I sent him to my friend in Ocala who does eventing to kind of take him under her wing, and she did eventing with him. And this horse loved eventing, like loved it. And I went up there when she competed him, and he won. And I saw him do like the dressage, the cross country, the show jumping. He loved it. He did so well in it. And it was just so fun for me to be there and see that.
Yeah.
And then I took him back after a couple months of her training him, took him back, and still to this day in my head. And then he was better and we worked through it. Basically, long story short. But to this day, I'm still thinking, should I have just left him up there with her? Because he would have been this amazing event horse. And like I could probably see him and her, competing and doing all of this like fun eventing stuff. He would love it. I was like, am I wasting his potential and his happiness eventing? And I still think about it. I'm like, this poor horse is like stuck with me. And like he could be with her doing all this other stuff. And it's really hard. It's a very mental thing, and you want the best for your horse. But on the other hand, it's like, well, I want to enjoy him. I love him. And it's a very hard dilemma to get around.
And I think the best for your horse, honestly, is like good care, meeting their needs, like doing all of that stuff. It doesn't necessarily equate to competing. I mean, horses would not care. Like if you threw your horse out in a field and left him and didn't show or didn't ever jump him again, he would be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that, I feel like we put our human emotions onto these animals.
Oh, 100%. It's easier said than done.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I can say,
it is way easier said
I can
than
say
done.
Finn doesn't care if he's not an event horse. But then in my head, I'm like, well, I've seen him compete, and he did really well in eventing and competing. Like what could he have been?
I mean, I even
eventing.
Have that feeling, not in that sense, but like if I don't want to go out to the barn that day, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. Like I can't ride Squid today, blah, blah. And then in my head, I literally have to be like, Squid doesn't care if I like miss one day. So we put a lot of like human emotions onto our horses, and it is totally easier said than done to like try to get out of that, because I feel like the other thing maybe is like we put all this money into them.
Yeah.
And so we want to make it
worth it. Yeah.
But I think so. I was actually going to say, because I remember that you sent him to that eventer. So I think that could be a good opportunity for this person if she has the funds. I don't know what like the cost of that was like.
Yeah. It was actually cheaper than my board at the time.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was a very reasonable price, and she did an amazing job, and she's just like a nice person.
Yeah. So like that could be a good option where this person just like sends her horse out to someone who specializes in young horses.
Yeah. And I think it's okay too. Like I really thought that I could do it, and I still think I can, like I did a really good program with him. It just like for that period of time, it was just not a healthy relationship between me and him, because I wasn't in a good mental spot personally. And I was, I think, reflecting that on him a little bit. And then I would get very upset very easily or frustrated very easily. So for us, that was just the best decision and also to give him exposure and experience as a young horse, I think is great. So that was kind of my reasoning for sending him away for a couple months, to give myself a break, to let him experience new things and to learn new things that I couldn't teach him. And I think as riders, we're very hesitant to accept that, or even admit that we're not good at something, or like that we can't do something. Like we don't want to admit failure. Like for me, that would have been like, I had to convince myself that it wasn't a failure, that I had to
Mhm.
send him away, or
Yeah.
that I wanted to send him away for a couple months to give myself a mental break,
Mhm.
because it was a lot. It's very
Yeah.
emotionally draining.
And young horses are like, they don't know what they're doing. Like,
And he was fine. Like,
yeah.
I had a whole like 6 months, maybe a year, where he was like, we were working through it, and I was like eager and ready. And it just hit a point where I think I just mentally just drained. I got drained. He was drained,
Mhm.
or like something flipped in the switch. And like during that period of time, it just,
I feel like they go through like an adolescence.
yeah, maybe.
Where they like,
he still has not grown out of
like
it.
fighting with his mom all the
It
time.
was.
Mom, get out of my room.
And it also didn't help too that he was my baby and my first
Yeah.
horse, because I'm very hesitant to ask anyone to like discipline him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, it's my baby,
Poor baby.
Finny. Yeah, I'm very hesitant too, because he's like my child, and like that was a big thing of me to buy my own horse after
Yeah.
like 17 plus years of like riding
Yeah.
and to do it. So for him, for me, it's not. He wasn't just a horse. He was like a lifelong dream that I
Yeah.
accomplished and was able to fulfill. And then going through all that was like very, very emotional
Yeah.
for me. And I think it just hits a point where you have to say, not that like sell, but I think it's like reevaluating what you want.
So I think something else that stood out to me in this is, she said, as the questions get harder, I have become frustrated with his greenness, and he's getting frustrated with me being frustrated. So that's kind of telling him that maybe she's moving too fast with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's only 6.
He's young. Yeah.
He's really young, and maybe he does need to just slow down a little bit, mature a little bit. If she's not willing to send him away, honestly, some people will just
put him into pasture
for like
a couple months,
a season.
Horses do like, there's some horses that mentally aren't mature until like 9.
Yeah.
You know, like they're just not there.
So like if she can't afford to send him somewhere, she could put him in a field for a few months, do a bunch of groundwork, work on building that bond on the ground. So yeah, that's not to say like throw him in a field and ignore him, but like maybe don't ride him for a few months.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if it's
work him on the ground, you can lunge him to keep him fit. But it kind of sounds like he just needs a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Too. It sounds like he's kind of hitting a wall in terms of what she's asking him to do. Like what she's asking him to do and what he feels comfortable doing are
like separate,
not the same thing at this point. So yes, I think reevaluating expectations.
Yeah. And I think finding joy too in, like, it doesn't, I just did this because I had to mentally prepare myself, because he came back to work after like almost 2 years of being in stall rest, and mentally preparing yourself for setting those expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically felt like I was starting from the ground up. Like I'm still kind of going through it for retraining and learning about like learning each other again. And sometimes it's okay. Actually, it's always okay, I think, to start over.
Yeah.
So if you're asking him,
it's better.
Yeah, if you're asking him questions that he either one doesn't want to do or doesn't understand, take it back.
Yeah.
Like take it back to basics. Like really, like how to go in a straight line, how to move over, like poles, cavalettis, like don't even throw him over a jump. Like really, like take that question that you're asking of your horse and break it down into the simplest steps.
Make it 1 + 1 = 2.
Exactly.
Instead of a whole equation.
Yeah. Like, for example, lead changes. Well, for the lead change issue, I would probably get a vet out, because if he's kicking out one way, because Finn had this issue too. He it's usually like pain related, or there's something,
or he has soreness, like some type of imbalance in terms of
or like he's weaker
strength,
and it's harder for him. So I would maybe get that checked out a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
Especially if it's only one way.
Yes.
Like Finn right now, we're dealing with him because going to the right, he's like will not freaking turn, and I'm getting him like completely evaluated to
like
figure
if it's
out what's
both
going
ways,
on.
then yeah, maybe he just hasn't figured it out yet. But if it's just one way,
then there's probably something going on there that it might not be as common as you think. Like it might not be a hawk issue, or it might not be a back issue.
Yeah.
It might be like an SI something, or like SI region, or
Yes.
something, even the neck. Like maybe he's like something that's going on that when you're asking him to do that, it's uncomfortable.
Physically harder.
Yeah. Not even hurting. Like it could be hurting, but it's just like uncomfortable.
No, but physically like harder.
Yes, harder. Yes, that's so I'd probably get that checked out. But then if there's nothing going on, try to figure out like, okay, the lead change. Maybe he's just getting frustrated with the lead change, maybe because it's harder. So what can I do to make it simplify that lead change? Or what can I do to build up those muscles that he needs to use for the lead change? And this, I think, is where educating yourself, researching. There's a ton of platforms now that do, like that you can go on and learn, and then break it down by steps. Yeah, like steps, baby steps. And I think you find a lot of fulfillment in accomplishing the baby steps.
Yeah, I think so too. And she also said she doesn't want people to look at us and think, wow, that horse is wasted with her if she is only ever going to jump 3 foot. Nobody's going to
Girl, I feel that all the time.
All
the freaking time.
Nobody's going to think that. Nobody's even going to know what his potential is. And also, if you go to WEF, all the women and like the older adult hunters, their horses are like 4 foot performance hunter horses, and they're doing like the 2.6 adult hunters. So like that's not something that you have to worry about.
But it's a lot of people think that way. I mean, I think that way all the time about, you know, how people perceive me, because I guess I'm very aware of my surroundings. Like even though I'm trying to be better at like not caring, like you still kind of care, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of a break off of the advice, sorry, but I was in Wellington with you, and I went to go see the lower jumper divisions, and even like watching you guys go, people are not nice.
Yeah, they're
like
not.
People are very gossipy. They're like, I was really shocked because I was just kind of sitting in the stands when I was watching, because obviously wasn't doing anything. I was just watching you guys. But like I was just overhearing conversations and like being very observant, and it's very fun to kind of be a fly on the wall and overhear. And
eavesdrop.
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, essentially eavesdrop. And it's just very interesting to hear and to see how people interact and how they talk about other riders. And it's a very uncomfortable. I've actually felt very uncomfortable being alone watching other people. Like it was just, it's a weird situation to be in. Yeah. And to hear that and to realize that there's individuals that are not nice, and that they're wishing ill on people, and that they're gossiping about them. And it's, I don't know. So it's a very real concern. Like, it's not like you're making it up in your head about what people think, like not to scare people, but it happens.
Yeah, it does happen.
I think you have to realize that it happens, and then you have to be not a better person, a stronger person, like mentally wise. Like, surround yourself with people that support you and lift you up. And I think not talking about it, or not like saying, oh, it doesn't happen at all, and like people aren't talking about me, like, I think you have to admit people do talk about me. They will talk about me, but I don't care. Yeah. Or I have my inner circle. I have my circle of friends who support me, and like that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And I think, again, it's a matter of setting goals. Like, if you are happy only jumping 3 foot, then that's great. I know people who have been showing in the same division for 10, 15, 20, like people that I show against in the adult jumpers, there are some people who have been doing the adult jumpers for probably 20 years.
Yeah.
Because they're comfortable there and they're happy and they like it. And
and you can bet, well, not bet, but if someone says like, oh, well, she's in the jumper division, I'm in the jump because I've been in the same division for 20 years because I like it.
Because I choose to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people just like gossiping. I feel like in the equestrian world, like they like, not all people, but like they like kind of having the tea, dishing the tea. And that's, I was just shocked, but that kind of made me think about when I was there, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. But I think overall, like, she says, I don't want to sell him, but I'm starting to think it's the only answer. I don't think
not.
It's the only
I don't
answer.
think you should, honestly.
I don't think she should either.
I think she's going through a rough patch.
Yeah. I think she should try everything else because, and I say that because she says she doesn't want to sell him. She had 1 to 2 really amazing years. It seems like she really loves him. I mean, if she had made up her mind, she wouldn't have written us this email.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if she was just like, I don't like him anymore. I'm done. Like, I'm over this. I'm ready to sell him. So the fact that she's writing us this email,
I think she
tells me that she's willing to try things.
I think she wants someone to support her in her corner, saying you can do it. Like, selling him's not the only option. Like,
we're here supporting you in your corner,
supporting
telling you that you can do it.
You can do it. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break from riding. It's okay to take a break from the horse if you both are getting frustrated.
Yes.
I mean, I think this is a situation where expectations and outside opinions mentally are getting the best of you and getting in your head. Like, you automatically go in a show ring and this person's saying this about me, this person is, and you, at some point, you have to block it.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to block it in any sport.
Yeah. And like Maria said, if you do end up sending him somewhere else for additional training, if you do end up putting him out in the field for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, if you do end up just flatting for 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 months, if you have to take that step back, that doesn't mean you failed. He's only 6.
Yeah, he's 6.
Like, he still has a lot of maturing to do. Some horses just mature more slowly, or, I mean, this horse has a ton of experience, but like, maybe he's going through his angsty teenage years. Like, there could be a ton of things going on here that don't have to do with you.
Yeah.
And don't even necessarily have to directly do with him. Like, they do, but they also, it's not personal, like, he's not doing it to like push your buttons.
Yeah. I think it's because she's already in that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, like, for me, for instance, let's just take it here. I had a not so great day today, and I was just off on like everything possible. Like, it was just one thing after another, and it wears you down and it gets to you. And then once you're in your head mentally, and it's the same thing it shows too.
Yeah.
Once you're in your head mentally, it's like, I feel like something bad's going to happen, so it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it just kind of perpetuates itself. So I think that's kind of what's going on here. She's automatically assuming that when she rides him, they're going to fight, or it's not going to work out, which is why she doesn't like riding him.
Yeah.
I think you have to approach it with a new mindset and new perspective and get a focus on something other than we're going to ride today. I think maybe I'm going to send him away for 3 months and he's going to learn X, Y, and Z positive, or we're going to take a step back and I'm going to do groundwork with him on Monday. I'm going to do Cavalettis with him on Tuesday. Like, you have to reframe your situation.
Yeah, meet him where he is. It's like, I've seen this post circulating on like Instagram and stuff that's like, ride the horse you have today, not the horse that you want to have.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Meet him where he is. Make the questions easier. Take a step back. Maybe send him for some additional training. I don't think you should sell him yet. If you've exhausted all your options and you're still feeling this way, then yes, maybe it would be time to sell. But I think there are a lot of things that this person can try before she decides to sell him.
I agree, especially if you brought him up as like a 3-year-old, like that is your baby. And I think this is it's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
And I think you should enjoy the journey of having this 3-year-old that you essentially brought up.
Yeah.
And it's not bad to ask for help.
No.
Like, if you want to send him away for training or you want like professional help, like, I don't think it's a bad thing to ask for help. And I think as equestrians, we're very hesitant to ask for help.
Yeah.
So we both agree that you should not sell him.
Yes.
But I am curious to know what you end up doing with him.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a follow-up to this, if any of our advice resonates with you, let us know if you have a follow-up, whatever you choose to do, send us an email. We can do a little update.
I know. I hope it works out because I'm personally invested in you and your horse because I've literally gone through this exact thing, kind of still going through it, but not to like the extent that I was before.
Yeah.
Because I'm now just bringing him back from injury and rehab. So I've been here. I've done that. And it's about mindset and it's about mentality. And you can't think about what other people say.
Yeah.
Because I feel bad because I'm like, oh, people are talking about it. Listen, there are some, but for the majority of people are very kind, very supportive. Yes. But you have to understand that in any sport, not just equestrian, you're going to have both sides of it. It's just that competitive nature that comes out. It's not, totally. I don't think people intend to be mean or rude. I think it's competitive. Yeah. And that's just the environment. Yeah. But yeah, your horse is very pretty though.
He's super cute.
He's very, very cute. I think just having fun, have fun with him. I think it's so fun. Go do groundwork, on a trail ride.
Yeah. Just try to, release all expectations, which again, easier said than done. But I think if you do that, you will be able to kind of work through some of this stuff and end up being happier because he's super cute.
He is cute.
It sounds like you really love him, and you said you don't want to sell him. So yeah, I think people give other options.
I think people give up too soon. This is like a relationship. It is, honestly. Like,
it is.
This, I tell people this all the time because I've been with Serge for like 11 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we've gone through so many issues, but the fact is that we've worked through them. And I think that's what makes a really strong relationship is being able to overcome those issues. Yeah. And I think that's why in the past, people didn't get nearly as much divorce as they are now because they didn't have an option. It was like, you're with that person, you're stuck with them, you better make that work.
Even though sometimes they ended up just being miserable and hating their lives.
But hey, you know what? They didn't give up. It wasn't the easiest option.
On the outside, they didn't give up.
But it is like I think it is a relationship that you have to understand that relationships take work, they take effort, and they take time. You can't expect to mold immediately with your horse and it's going to be like the best match ever. Sometimes it is, don't get me wrong, but
especially at 6, like he still has a lot of maturing to do. If this horse was like 13 and this was happening, I'd be like, maybe something changed and maybe it's not the right match anymore. But since he's 6, like
honestly, even at 13, that wouldn't bother me. I mean, horses are animals.
That's true.
You don't know what's going on in their brain. I think that's what makes this more complicated. This kind of situation is that we can't talk to them and say,
get a horse communicator.
I was going to say that we should get a horse communicator. Actually, you know what? That's an advice I'll give because I'm interested to know.
Yeah.
But we can't talk aside from the horse communicator, which I might still get. But we can't say, hey, would you rather be an eventer? Hey, would you rather do this? Hey, why are you kicking out when I asked for the lead change? Like, we are doing the best that we can.
Yeah, and he can't be like, hey, I don't understand what you're asking me to do.
Yeah.
So,
but did I tell you the story about I can't remember who told me this, but there was this woman was having issues with her horse. Like, he suddenly turned like really cranky and like they weren't working out. And she got this animal communicator to come out. And the animal communicator basically like told her, I'm going to like really butcher this story, but it was like water, and then she said like 2 other keywords basically, like water, night, something like that. And the woman was able to piece together that her horse was having night turnout or something, or day turnout. When the horse was being turned out, there was geese in the water and it was keeping the horse up at night. So the horse couldn't get sleep. So it was like so exhausted and it was like just cranky because it wasn't getting sleep. So they moved pastures. They moved the horse out of pastures and he was fine. God. I know. So I really butchered that story, but like that's real, you know? Like who would have thought that like birds were keeping this horse up and he couldn't sleep? And the simplest solution was just they switched pastures and the horse was fine.
Oh my god.
And it went right back to its normal self.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so don't knock it till you try it, people.
Yeah. But
actually, if other people have like
horse communicator
stories, I want to know.
I also
so
want to know.
interested. Yeah,
I've
we're
interested. Considered doing one, but
or if you have recommendations for one, because I do want to do it. I want to do one.
I'm always scared that Squid's gonna be like, I don't like you that much.
I know. I should ask him if he would rather event than be with me.
I don't think he would say that.
Love me.
But yeah, keep us updated on this. I'm really curious to kind of
I went all over the place there.
Yeah.
I told you I could.
We've been ranting for a while. It's 7:00.
Oh my god. I couldn't think. I was just like all over. Because I really relate to this story, so I want to make sure I got like all the points. All the points out.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are not alone in this situation. Like there's plenty of people that think
a lot of people go through this.
Especially the overqualified, I think. Like I got an overqualified horse for this. It could be doing X, Y, and Z, but it's stuck with me type of situation. And I mean, the horse is probably like, thank goodness I'm not jumping that high anymore. This is a piece of cake.
Oh, man.
So yeah, just have fun with it. Horses ultimately are just supposed to be fun. That's supposed to be our happy place, our happiness. And it should never be a situation where your unhappiness is drawn from expectations.
Yes.
Because there should not be any expectations.
Yes. Agreed. But yeah, that was a really good
discussion topic.
Chat. Yeah,
we went along. Well, I really went on a rant, but that's fine.
So if anybody else wants any advice from us, if you like the advice that we gave, let us know. Send us an email. Send us any questions you have that you want us to cover.
Send us any animal communicator stories that you have. Because I am really thinking about doing it. We should do, if I get it done, we should record the session. Right?
Yeah.
How fun would that be?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. This horse is going to be like, you need to bring me more treats.
I know. All right. Well, I think that's all we got.
Yeah, fun. So, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that in. Sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable, I feel like, as an equestrian.
Yeah.
And admit your problems to other people. But know that we're in your corner, and I feel like a lot of other equestrians also relate to it.
Yeah. We're rooting for you.
Yeah. But I mean, I tell you my problems all the time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you call? I need to rant. But yeah, having other equestrians in your supporting you or friends that you can go to is very beneficial in this industry. Yes. I met some of my best friends in the equestrian industry.
Same.
Yeah. Half your bridal party. No, most of it.
Most of my bridal party
I
met through horses.
Yeah. I think actually everyone except my sister and my future sister-in-law are equestrians. And I couldn't.
I think for me, everybody except my cousin, who was my maid of honor, and then my brother-in-law's girlfriend / like long-term girlfriend / partner. So
this community is very special, even though I went saying all that stuff about we do like the tea. We do like the tea. I think it's just the environment that can kind of get the best of people, but ultimately your equestrian friends are some of the best friends you'll have.
Yes.
I think that was a good ending.
All right. Well, keep sending us your ISOs and your discussion topics, and if you want us to give you advice, clearly we like to give advice.
As we talked for like 40 minutes.
I know. And we'll see you next time.
Adult Ammy's out. I did it right this time.
Oh.